What's up, YouTube? Top Tactic Fishing here. Welcome to another episode. So we are here at a local creek near my house, and we're going to be targeting some carp today. Actually, kind of more stalking them. This spot's very special to me, even though I don't fish it a whole lot. Mainly, it's special because this is the creek where I caught my very first carp. Caught my very first carp here. And this is when it was just, this is where my passion really developed, was at this spot. And so I figure I'd try to come back here, see if we can get some carp. It is a very, very small creek, very good for stalking carp actually. And I did a little scouting when I got here. We came across this area where I found where some of the carp are at. Very, very snaggy, a lot of leaves, a lot of brush in the water, a lot of branches. So we're gonna have to be keeping really close to our rods today. I do kind of have a purpose of today's video. I'm just gonna be using fake or plastic or artificial, whatever you want to call it, bait today. And I specifically doing it at this specific spot only because there's I catch a lot of my bait fish here, and you get a lot of nuisance fish like bluegill, creek chubs, sunfish really, and they tend to pick a lot at like real baits, like real corn, real tiger nuts. So we're going to be using artificial baits because even when these smaller nuisance fish will pick at your bait, they're not going to rip off that plastic corn or tiger nut or whatever you're using, or pop-up boilie. So, and that's pretty much why I'm doing it here. All right, this spot will do really well using top water baits like bread, which I don't have unfortunately, but we're just gonna be using some pack bait that I have left over. I'm gonna show you the style that I'm using here. So we're using just Carolina rig, okay, on both rods. Carolina rig style. Do have this is like maybe like 1/4 ounce of an egg sinker, down to my hair rig here. And we're going to be using a pop-up boilie on one of them. This is the CC Moore 14 millimeter NS1 pop-up boilie, or the NS1 special that is. And my second rod here, same exact setup, except we're using 3 pieces of Enterprise Tackle sinking corn, a triple stack. So both baits are fake, not real, but this should be well for this specific area just because of all the nuisance fish. And I did see some carp. They may have moved out, but either way, these fish will be back. But so Carolina rig style, we're gonna just use a little bit of pack bait on here. Just a little bit of pack bait. I don't have any corn, but I typically have done well at just chucking corn here. The carp I have caught here have all just been on corn. But this is going to be a little bit different. A little bit different. And it's just going to look like this, guys. Just like that. Very, very, very similar to the bolt rig style that I typically use. This should draw in some carp, especially if you know where they're at. All right, just like that. This is a spot where you need to really be close to your rod because you'll just run right into a snag. given all the branches. As you can see, it's very shallow, very snaggy area. Not ideal where I'm at, but these are where the carp are at. So I just saw like at least 3 or 4 just swarm over where my pack bait is. So I have a feeling that we're gonna get a hook up here pretty shortly. Spaced out my second rod, and I know I'm kind of playing with fire here a little bit with how close my rods are, but I'm really trying to see if we can get a carp. So, and I can just see him really close to my bait, swimming around my bait. Maybe they're just not in the mood. Guys, you're not gonna believe what happened. So my battery died, and then when I'm about to land the fish on the bank, I slip into the water and I get all wet here. So you can see I fell like halfway in, slippery slope. So I did manage to get the carp though. So there she is there. Small one, but there it is there. You can see the setup there. Looks like one of the fake corns did fall off. So this was on the triple stack of sinking corn here, the plastic corn. One did fall off. But let's get it out of the net here. But here she is. Maybe going like 7 pounds. Beautiful fish though. On the fake corn. Beautiful. It's good to finally catch a carp at my of the place where it all started for me with carp fishing. So we're gonna go ahead and release this one. All right, guys, we're gonna call it quits for the day. Whew. Especially after getting all wet with that. But as you can see, we did catch one, which was great, but very hard area to catch carp or land the carp, especially. You know, we're just using all fake baits today, but look what I'm working with here. Ton of carp in this area, but look at all of this debris. I still got one rod out here, but this is definitely the hardest area that I've ever fished for carp, just because of all the snags here, the debris, the branches, just everything. Just really hard to catch carp here. But we did catch a carp. We did land the fish successfully. It was successfully released. I guess you could say landing the fish was a success, even though we got all wet here. So I'm sorry that the GoPro, the battery died in the beginning of the video. So sometimes that's just kind of how it is, how it goes. But please consider hitting that subscribe button. It helps me out, but more importantly, it definitely helps out the USA carp angling community, as we are trying to spread carp awareness in the United States. As always, guys, give a thumbs up for this video, and we'll see you next time on Top Tactic Fishing. Take care, guys.